What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. So today I'm down at Mooresville Ford. We're going to take a look at the all-new 2022 Ford Maverick XLT. So huge shout out to them for providing this truck for me today. Make sure you guys check out their website. I'll have all that info down in the description. The Maverick that you see behind me is finished off in carbonized gray metallic, and it has a list price just over $27,000. So we're going to start off today's review with what powers the all-new Ford Maverick. Now there are two different engine options. This particular spec has the 2-liter inline 4-cylinder EcoBoost engine. It's paired with the 8-speed automatic transmission and pumps out 250 horsepower and 277 pound-feet of torque. It is front-wheel drive. However, if you do opt for the 2-liter engine, you can get all-wheel drive as well. It weighs in right around 3,600 pounds. It'll do 0 to 60 in just under 7 seconds. It also has a fuel capacity of 16.5 gallons, and you can expect to see around 22 miles per gallon in the city and 29 out on the highway. This has a wheelbase of 121.1 inches. Its overall length is 199.7. It has a width of 72.6, a height of 68.7, and its ground clearance measures in at 8.6 inches. Now as we move on to the exterior for the all-new Ford Maverick, let's start off with these LED headlights. I really like the design for the overall housing. You'll notice too that the LED turn signals are right in the middle, and part of the grille is also incorporated surrounding the turn signal just to give it a great look. You'll notice that this does have DRLs as well, and you can see the headlights and the high beams are on the lower section. So it's a really nice all-new design. And as I mentioned, you can see the grille is nicely integrated into the headlight housings just to blend it in and tie it in nicely. You'll see there's plenty of cutouts in the upper grille to provide maximum cooling to this engine. And this model also has active grille shutters down in that lower section too, just to better improve with the aerodynamics. As we work our way to the hood, you'll see there's really nice lines coming down both sides just to tie it in nicely with this all new front end design look. There's also a lower air dam too in the lower section, again to help better improve with the aerodynamics. And as we work our way to the side, you'll see with this XLT, we have a really nice set of 17-inch wheels with a multi-spoke pattern. They have a really nice finish to them to complement this exterior gray. You'll see the side mirrors are blacked out. The XLT badge is just in front of those. You'll see the trim from the lower section of the front bumper extend to the lower section of the side skirts there. There's a really nice line right in the lower section of the door, and you can see the fender arches have nice indentions to them as well. You'll also notice the black door handles. The Ford Maverick is a unibody construction, so you'll see the cab and the bed are connected right in the middle there, of course. And as we work our way to the rear end, you'll see the taillights on both sides. Maverick is nicely stamped in the lower section of the tailgate. We have the Ford badge as well as the backup camera right in the center. And then down in the lower bumper, you'll see that trim piece extends all the way, wraps around to the back. If you do opt for the towing package, you can tow up to around 4,000 pounds with this truck. And this also has a payload capacity of 1,500 pounds, so it's a very capable smaller size truck. But with the exterior out of the way, let's take a look at the interior. This is the key fob for the all-new Ford Maverick. We do have the turn key as well as lock and unlock on the bottom there. You'll also notice too that for the XLT, we have the built-in keypad on the door, so you can use that to lock and unlock the vehicle. I think that's a really nice convenient feature to have. And as we move on to the door panel now, you'll see there's really nice materials on it. We have leather on the armrest. You'll also notice the floating design for the grab handle as well as the orange trim. You'll see that located throughout the rest of this interior. I think that's a really nice design, very accessible, and you'll also notice too that it provides a lot of room for a water bottle on the back side. You can see that stamped in the back there, so you can place in whatever items you'd like to. You'll see there's plenty of storage space in the rest of the lower section of the door. This truck also has a 6-speaker audio sound system. You'll see all the window controls as well as the side mirror adjustments, along with lock and unlock, and the release handle is finished off in black. As we work our way to the interior now, you'll see we have the two-tone design for these cloth seats, as well as more orange stitching, which is a really nice design. You'll see the upper section there as well as the lower section. These are manual adjusting seats, so we have the bar up front to slide them forwards and backwards. We also have the height adjustment, as well as your recline and your incline. And now it's time to move on to the interior for this all-new Ford Maverick. I want to start off as well with the floor height for this model. You'll see we have the door sill, and then you're actually going to step down into the floor. So it's more like a smaller size SUV, but it makes it very easy to enter and exit. We have the driver door all the way opened, and that floating grab handle makes it very easy to grab onto, of course, and close the door. As we work our way to the steering wheel now, you'll see we have a really nice design as well as some controls on both sides. Before we get to those, let's go ahead and start this up. So we have the turn key, as I already mentioned, over on the right side. And with my foot on the brake, we can start it up. And you'll see on the gauge cluster, over on the left side is the tach, on the right side is the miles per hour. There's also more fixed information on the lower section, like engine temperature and fuel, as well as what gear you're in. And then on the top, you'll see there's a small LCD screen. We can utilize all of these buttons over on the right side to go through that, where you'll also notice Bluetooth and voice commands, as well as seek and track for the radio. And then we have all of these here for that center screen. So right now you can see we're basically on the home screen there. I can scroll down, you can go to music, you can look at your phone when that is hooked up, of course. We have different settings to go into as well. So you can go into your information as well as your display. You can also go into the driver assistance, so you can look at your pre-collision as well as the trailer sway control. So it's really nice to see those technology features. You can also go into your settings, so of course you can configure all of this just depending on what you'd like. You can scroll down one more time, look at My Key. We can also go down and look at trip information as well as My View. So by going into My View, you can configure what you like to see, whether it's the speedometer, your fuel economy, or the calm screen. So basically that won't show anything if you'd like to see that. So you have a lot of information right in front of you. And then over on the left side of the steering wheel, you'll see all the cruise control settings as well as volume and muting for the radio. Over on the left side, you'll see all the headlight controls as well as the cargo bed light. We also have some dimmer switches for the gauges. You'll see a hint of that orange right in the center of the air vent and a really cool pattern surrounding the trim on it. Just gives it a very clean look. Right up in the middle, you'll see there's a little bit of storage space. You could place your phone or other items like that. And then we have the 8-inch touchscreen system. So you'll notice on the bottom here, we have all of the presets basically. So you can go from audio to your phone when that is paired. You can look at different apps. There's even settings that you can go into, so you can configure the clock, your Bluetooth and phone. You can go into the ambient lighting and adjust how you'd like to have that. You can also go into vehicle, look at that keypad on the exterior, as well as your camera settings. There's a lot of information right in front of you here. We have the home button up on the top, so you can look at your audio as well as your phone when that is paired. We have the clock, the outside temperature, and a few other icons up on the top. You'll also notice too, there's a little storage bin over on the right side where you could place some smaller items. And then we have some physical buttons for power and volume for the radio, as well as tuning. You have play and pause, seek and track. If you push on this right button 3 times, you can see one screen here has the clock. Push on it again, that will go completely blank, and pushing on a 3rd time will make that screen reappear, just depending on what you like to see. You'll also notice more of that trim surrounding the lower section going all the way to the passenger side. Has a really nice, almost marble design to it, really nice for this interior. You'll see we have more orange on the air vents. Down below is all of the climate controls. So we have the fan speed on the left side, temperature and power for the AC is on the right side. You'll see you can adjust where you like the air to go. There's auto and a few other recirc buttons. And as we work our way below that, there is a 12 volt as well as a USB and USB-C port. You'll notice even more orange. You can place your phone or any other items down here. We do have this upright compartment here where you could place your phone if you'd like to. There's 2 cup holders as well as a little bit of storage and even more orange on the back side there. And then moving on to the gear selector now, with my foot on the brake, all I need to do is rotate this dial once. That is for reverse, where you'll see the guidelines as well. If I push on the plus button, now we have a downward facing angle. So if you are backing up to a trailer or even in a parking spot, you have a different angle, which is of course great to see. We can rotate it all the way over to drive. There is a low range gear as well. And then we can go all the way back into park. You'll notice the electronic parking brake just behind that. And then we have a few more controls like the engine start stop feature, as well as the auto hold assist. This is for traction control. And then the upper right is for the different driving modes. So just by pushing on that, you can see normal. There's also a tow and haul. If I push on it again, there's slippery, eco, and sport as well. So just depending on how you like to drive this truck, you have a few different options to choose from. And then as we work our way to the center armrest, you'll see it's covered in leather, and we have a lot of space for any items you'd like to place there. And then working our way to the glove box, a lot more space for all of that information. We'll take one last look at this interior. As I mentioned, with the two-tone design and the orange stitching, gives it a really nice design for these cloth seats. And then up top, this does have a sunglass holder, and you'll notice the dome lights are up here as well. Onto the back seats now for the all-new Ford Maverick. You'll notice that the door panel is finished off just like up front. We even have that cutout so you can place in a taller water bottle. I think that's a really nice convenient feature to have. And at 5'10", it's time to hop into the back. We have the same floor height as up front. With the front seat set at my height, I have plenty of room, and I'm very impressed with the amount of headroom for the backseat passengers. This is smaller than a mid-sized truck, but I still have around 4 or 5 inches, so you can be taller than me and still fit in the back. Very impressive to see that for the size of this vehicle. You'll notice too, right in the middle, we do have an armrest. You can utilize this as 2 more cup holders if you need to use it. We have the same pattern for these seats. There's a 12 volt right in the middle, along with a little bit of storage. There's also a storage pocket behind the passenger seat. And what I love about these seats too is the bottom actually folds up. So there's a tab on both sides. You can just pull on this and lock the seat into place. Look at all of the storage space that you have under the seats. These are very deep compartments, makes it very versatile to throw in any items you'd like to. There's even a QR code that you can scan. This will bring you right to Ford's website and give you some ideas that you can utilize these compartments for. We can just pull on this tab, lower the seat back down. Definitely plenty of room in the back seat. Again, very impressive to see. And as we make our way to the bed now, all of the Ford Mavericks come in this configuration. We have the full 4 doors as well as the 4.5 foot bed. As I mentioned earlier, it is a unibody construction, so you can see how that flows nicely all as one piece. And then as we work our way to the bed, you'll see the tailgate release. We can just pull on that. Very light tailgate as well. You can see we have the metal bed. You can also opt for the spray and bed liner just to give you a little bit more protection. There's several tie-down hooks in this bed so you can safely secure any items you'd like to. And I think the buyer for the Ford Maverick is looking for something with this open space. You don't necessarily want a smaller SUV. You want something where you can put in irregularly shaped items. So we definitely have plenty of room for anything you'd like to place back here. And we also have another QR code. It's the same as the one up front. There's a little bit of storage space over on this passenger side as well. And you can use that code. You can go through different things on Ford's website. You can get some ideas on how to build some racks, different accessories for the bed of the Ford Maverick. You'll also notice too, there's some small indentions on the wheel wells on both sides where you can put some brackets there and again, get some ideas from the Ford website. I think that's a really nice design to see. And then we have the lightweight tailgate, making it very easy to close. All right, so as we get the all-new 2022 Ford Maverick XLT out on the road, this is a very cool new truck for the market. It's a little bit smaller than a mid-size truck, but I think Ford has done a really good job at packaging this smaller size vehicle and giving it a lot of space. I love the fact that at 5'10", I can easily fit in the back seats. I've known some other people who are a little bit taller than me, just over 6 feet, that are just as comfortable in the back. That is very, very impressive to see for the size of this truck. As I said, it's not a very big truck, but there's a lot of usable space on the interior. And I think the market for the Ford Maverick is somebody who's not necessarily a truck person, but they need the practicality of having that open bed. Maybe you have some bicycles, you have some other equipment that you just don't want to put in a smaller size SUV. But so far it has a pretty similar driving feel to a smaller size SUV. So you're pretty much in the same thing. You just now have a bed on the back of the vehicle. So we kind of sit down just a little bit. We have a pretty large dash here. You can almost see the base of the hood. It has that same feel, at least for me. So I think it's really awesome to see the fact that we have this newer vehicle, newer truck for the market. And I love so far how it's been driving. It's a very smooth vehicle. It's what you would expect, I guess, for a smaller vehicle like this. It's not very loud. There's really no wind noise or road noise or anything like that. And it's been very, very comfortable. I could see driving this every single day. And I love the fact too that it has a pretty small footprint to it. So I've had a lot of comments on previous videos, driving larger size vehicles, even the F-Series trucks from Ford. Is there somewhere I can park that? If I'm taking it to the city, where can I park it? Now, of course, a larger size or a full size truck is going to have a different benefit than having a smaller vehicle like this, of course, with towing and other capabilities like that. But if you need a truck, but you live in the city, you want something small and easy to park, this is definitely the answer. Like I said, it's not a very big vehicle, so you can easily maneuver this in parking lot situations. Visibility is really good as well. So while we're at a stoplight here, I can easily see over my right shoulder, same with my left shoulder. Pickup trucks really don't have any blind spots. And then coming back to this interior, as you've already seen in today's video, for the price point of this truck, it's a really nice layout and all the materials are really nice as well. I love all the orange accents, just kind of brightens up the interior a bit. We have a really nice trim piece underneath this screen and a good amount of information that you can go through. I love with Fords that everything is laid out very well. So you can hop in this, go through all this information and easily know how to work all of it. But giving it a little bit of gas, not even half throttle there, maybe quarter throttle, we are up to speed. So while we do have a smaller engine, I think you have plenty of power, especially for the weight of this and what it's capable of doing. You also get really good gas mileage as well. So if you're looking for a truck, most trucks don't really have as good MPG as smaller size SUVs, cars things like that. So if you want the best of both worlds, this is a really good in-between, giving you all this practicality of having a truck and not worrying about the MPG if you're driving this every single day. And as we switch over to the POV angle, we're gonna come up to this left-hand turn so I can talk about the body roll and the feel, the handling of the smaller size truck. That is very impressive. Just going at a normal rate of speed, I didn't feel any body roll. It felt very planted, which is weird to say for a truck, but as I've already mentioned, it's a smaller truck, very low center of gravity, so it is going to handle a little bit better than a larger size truck would. So that is very impressive to see. You can get a feel for what it's like to be behind the wheel. Look at this interior again. It's a very comfortable truck to drive. I love the seating position as well. We have good bolstering support. And as we take a quick view at visibility again, looking over my right shoulder and then over the left shoulder there, very easy to see all around. We do have a solid rear glass as well. So looking out of the rear view, you have no obstructions, even with the headrests on both sides. You can clearly see the tailgate of this truck. But that's gonna wrap it up for today's review. Comment down below, what do you think of the all-new 2022 Ford Maverick? Definitely a pretty awesome new truck for the truck world. And again, a huge shout out to Mooresville Ford for providing this truck for me today. Check out their website. I'll have all that info down in the description. And if you enjoyed today's review, give it a huge thumbs up, smash that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with our daily uploads. And I'll see you all in the next video.